If you feel like the unpaid project manager of everyone's life, it's time to resign. The surprising part is that your exhaustion isn't just about how much they need you, it's about how much you quietly believe you have to manage them. And today, you can walk away from a little of that weight. Here's a tiny rule you can test right now. Whenever you feel the urge to fix someone, ask yourself, what would actually happen if I let them handle this themselves? Most people who end up in the fixer role didn't audition for it. You just noticed what needed to be done, where the danger was, who was about to make a mess, and your body moved faster than your brain. Over time, that became a personality instead of a pattern. At some point, people started saying things like, "You're the responsible one, you're the glue, you're the one we can count on." It felt like praise, and in many ways it was. It also quietly rewrote your job description into something impossible. You became the person who reminds your partner to pay their bills, who plans your friend group's birthdays, who talks your brother down at 2 a.m., who smooths over your parents' fights at holidays. If anything goes wrong, you're the one who can't sleep. It's not that you don't want to help. You do. You care deeply. The problem is that your caring has turned into overfunctioning, where you do the emotional and practical work that belongs to other grown people. That's when love starts to feel like labor. There's a mindset that can start to loosen this. Let them. If they want to text their ex again, let them. If your friend always shows up late, let them. If your coworker never prepares and then scrambles, let them. Letting them doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop acting like quality control for everyone's life. To work with this without feeling cruel, 3 ideas help. Name your job, let them live, and return your energy. Name your job works because clarity breaks the spell of vague responsibility. When you know what is actually yours, everything else stands out as extra. You can use Name Your Job today by choosing one relationship and writing down what your real role is. Not the role you feel guilty about leaving, the role you actually signed up for: partner, not parent, friend, not therapist, colleague, not manager. An everyday example: if you're dating someone, your job is to show up honestly, kindly, and consistently. Not to teach them how to adult, how to regulate their moods, and how to communicate with everyone in their life. When you see yourself slipping into those extra roles, you notice it and say internally, "This is outside my job." Let them live works because other people's discomfort is not always an emergency, and their small consequences are often how they grow. When you jump in every time, you rescue them from the discomfort that would actually teach them. You can practice Let Them Live today by picking one thing you usually overmanage and simply not doing it. Don't send the reminder text. Don't fix their forgotten form. Don't chase them about the thing they already know they should do. An everyday example: your friend always complains that they are broke but keeps ordering takeout. Instead of sending them budgeting spreadsheets unasked, you listen once. Say, "That sounds hard," and when they ask what you think, you answer simply and then let them decide. You don't follow up like a coach. Return your energy works because your time, attention, and nervous system are not infinite. Every time you pour into a mess that isn't yours, you take that energy away from your own life. You can use Return Your Energy today by literally redirecting the impulse to fix into something for yourself. When you notice yourself drafting yet another long advice message, stop and do one small thing you've been postponing for your own body, your own home, your own project. An everyday example: instead of rehearsing a speech to convince your sibling to break up with their partner, you use that hour to cook yourself a real meal, go for a walk, or finally send that email about your own opportunity. Here's a story that might feel familiar. You're dating someone who is always late, always half planning, always bad with money. You see the train wrecks before they happen, so you start doing little things. You remind them about deadlines, you research apartments, you talk to their landlord, you soothe their panic when the card declines. On the surface, you're the supportive partner. Underneath, you're quietly parenting a grown adult. One day you realize that if you stopped managing, their life would probably fall apart for a while. You also realize that your life is already falling apart in small ways because you're so busy running theirs. That's the moment the let them idea knocks. What would change if you let their choices lead to their own outcomes and stopped editing the story for them? The answer is usually 2 things. Their life gets messier for a bit, and yours gets lighter. The lightness feels wrong at first because you're used to equating love with over-effort. A helpful micro-test is this. If you stop doing this thing, would they actually be incapable, or would they just be uncomfortable? Most of the time, it's uncomfortable, and uncomfortable is where people learn. Your over-responsibility often comes from an old place. Maybe growing up, if you didn't fix it, no one would. If you didn't keep the peace, there was a fight. If you didn't remember things, chaos hit. That child got very good at scanning for danger and jumping in. That skill deserves respect. It kept you and maybe others safe. But that old version of you didn't have a choice. You do. You are allowed now to lay some of that work down, even if no one else volunteers to pick it up. It can feel selfish to step back, especially if you're used to being the reliable one. Here's the gentle truth. Healthy love includes trust that other adults are responsible for their own lives. You are not stealing anything from them by stepping back. You are returning their life to its rightful owner. If this way of thinking already feels like a small exhale, subscribe so you don't have to figure all of this out alone. Let's look at a few areas where this shows up. In dating, you might keep choosing people who are works in progress and treating them like projects. You fall in love with potential and then exhaust yourself, trying to turn that potential into reality, while they lean on you and don't grow much on their own. In family, you might be the one who mediates every argument, manages everyone's feelings, and organizes every visit. You show up at gatherings more as a coordinator than as a person who is allowed to just be there. In friendships, you might be the one who always reaches out, always remembers birthdays, always holds space when they're in crisis, but nobody checks how you are unless you break down. The let them mindset would say, if they want to ignore your needs, let them. It doesn't mean tolerate it forever. It means stop campaigning to be cared about and watch what they choose when you stop pushing. People show you who they are when you stop editing their behavior. When you stop filling in the gaps, you finally get a clean picture of how much they are genuinely willing to do. This is where those 3 scripts can help you step back without drowning in guilt. One pattern is the gentle limit. You name your limit and your care in one breath. Another is the honest mirror. You describe what you've noticed and what you're choosing now. And a third is the future shift. You explain how you'll behave going forward instead of trying to argue them into changing. A gentle limit might sound like telling a friend, I love you and I can't be on the phone for hours every time there's a crisis, but I can check in tomorrow. An honest mirror could be saying to a partner, I've noticed that I'm the one tracking your life details and it's making me resentful. So I'm stepping back from that. A future shift might be telling a sibling, I'm not going to chase you about this anymore. If you want support, you can ask. Underneath all of these is one simple sentence you can keep. I can care about them without making their life my job. You will feel guilty at first. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're walking out of an old costume that never fit, right? Guilt is simply the alarm your nervous system rings when you break a rule you never agreed to in the first place. Other people might not love your new boundaries. Some will adapt, some will push harder, a few will fall away. That is information. Anyone who only values you when you are exhausted and overextended was never valuing the real you. As you practice name your job, let them live, and return your energy, you might notice something strange. The world doesn't fall apart as often as you thought it would. Some balls drop and then bounce. Some people step up when you step back. Some messes happen and then get cleaned by someone who isn't you. You might also notice that you have more time, more quiet, more attention for your own body, your own projects, your own joy. At first, that space feels wrong. Then it starts to feel like coming home. You're allowed to be a supportive, loving person without running everyone's lives. You're allowed to sit in a room where other adults make choices you wouldn't make and let those choices belong to them. If you feel even a tiny bit lighter hearing this, press like so more tired fixers can hear that it's okay to retire from that unpaid job. The most important part is that you remember you are a person, not a system. Name your job so you stop confusing love with control, let them live so they can meet their own life, and return your energy so there is actually something left for you.